Hey y'all, Dr. Ince here. I wanted to just go through, I see a lot of patients in the office, a lot of success stories, but I don't have a good way of getting them on paper with their before and after photos. But one of my favorite apps I was looking through is Forks Over Knives. I think you should definitely download it. Look through the success stories. Pretty true. I mean, sometimes you see these success stories and you're like, oh, that's probably not true. It's probably their marketing or something. But I'm telling you, this is legit. I see it with my own eyes in the office, and I'm not trying to poo-poo anybody here. Yeah, so here is basically this Forks Over Knives app. Yeah, really like it a lot. Essentially, it has a lot of breakfast items, 61 recipes here. I mean, heck yeah. We got some zucchini bread, some, what is this, sweet potato flax, oats, overnight oats. I mean, I don't do anything fancy like this. I usually just honestly go to get the hearty blueberry oatmeal from Starbucks, do a mobile order, and I'm usually there with like 5 minutes later, pick it up and go. It's just so easy, and it's about $3 per breakfast. So you could probably do a cheaper breakfast at home, but essentially once you get a rhythm going and you're having about the same thing every several days a week, it makes a super easy habit. And so basically, looking through this little app, there's resources, there's favorite things there, shopping list. The success stories is what I think is pretty cool. And basically, looking through here, reversing liver disease, 122 pounds lighter. This is kind of interesting story. I went plant-based and lost 140 pounds in 2 years. You're looking good. I mean, I see that a lot in the clinic. I've seen some ones lose 70, 80 pounds, and life totally turns around. And basically, looking through here, looks like heart problems. This is pretty straightforward. What I keep hearing is that have some type of disease, they're about to die, maybe get erectile dysfunction, and they want it to get reversed. Usually, body's like a car. You run it without the right proper fuel for a while, it starts shutting down. You start hearing little clinks in the engine, aka the penis stops working, erectile dysfunction, the kidneys start failing, start needing some dialysis. I'll look at this, for instance, dialysis free on a whole food diet. And I've seen that too. I've seen the creatinine pretty high. And when you get rid of the animal protein, you switch to the plant protein, you get a good reduction in the creatinine, and the kidneys start improving. Also, the blood vessels is the only diet that's been shown to clean up the vessels. Unfortunately, the other diets have not shown that. And so, until they have, I'd say this is the best one because it can clean up the arteries. Thyroid, autoimmune diseases, like this vitiligo patient. Now, this was kind of surprising to me. I saw this one a couple of days ago. He had cirrhosis, which is scarring of the liver. And apparently they did some scans, and his cirrhosis got a lot better. And apparently they did the esophageal varices on endoscopy. So, and they actually, that makes sense. They regressed, and that is very true. And I actually knew a gastroenterologist, and they recommended a plant-based diet for a patient that I had that was having liver disease. And so apparently they've seen the studies as well, that it seems to be the best for dropping weight. I've seen some studies on mental health disease as well, depression, anxiety, getting better with the plant-based eating plan. And so how to do it is the tricky thing. The Forks Over Knives has guides and recipes, and there's a website for it. Essentially, heart disease, kidney disease, migraines, arthritis. This is all very legit stuff, and I've heard it again and again. Me personally, I don't do it all the time, but basically lost about 20-30 pounds with it, and I had some hair spots on my face that filled back in, and just felt a lot better on the plant-based diet just after a few years, and lost about 20 to 30 pounds of some more fat that I had. And it makes total sense. Of course, you're cutting out a lot of calories from the cheese on the salads, you're cutting out a lot of calories from the chicken, you're replacing it with fiber sources such as beans, legumes, lentils, and the chicken doesn't have fiber. You get rid of that, and the chicken's been associated with lymphoma, which is a type of cancer, and more diabetes, more cancer. If you look at just these Adventist health studies, you see the diabetes rates and the high blood pressure rates continue to go up as you add more of the animal protein. And yeah, what really turned me on to it was the How Not to Die book back in 2016, 2017 by Dr. Greger. So I'd recommend really checking that out. And about 10 to 15 books later, slowly getting me to eat a lot more healthier. Of course, the more we do it, the better we feel. So I'd say keep looking into it. And I know you can definitely lose this weight a lot of times with these keto and these carnivore type eating plans, but unfortunately, I was just checking that out the other day, that those are not good. And speak of the devil, you know, I was actually just looking at some of those, and pretty much, yeah, the more you read about it, I mean, even in the 2017 Standards of Medical Care, they're saying the current guidelines are recommending a plant-based diet, DASH diet, or Mediterranean diet. I love all three of those diets. Of course, the plant-based, I just think it's the only one that's been shown to really regress the coronary blockages and give a 19% lower in cancer rates and lowest rates of diabetes and high blood pressure, and actually the only one that hit a normal BMI. And as you see, as you look in low-carb diet, just Google increased mortality, you'll see that several studies have linked low-carb diets to increased mortality. And so until those start looking a little bit better, I'm not a huge fan of jumping into the low-carb bandwagon because it hasn't been shown to reverse heart blockages, our number one killer, or reduce our number two killer, cancer. And it actually shows a 5% increase in cancer and a 50% boost in cerebrovascular disease and 51% boost in cardiovascular disease, subjects with the lowest carb intake. So the low carb community, you know, I've done it before. I said this in another one of my videos, but I don't think it's the best one. I think it's better to get a lot of the fruits and vegetables, and of course I do think it is better than a lot of the standard American diet, which unfortunately that one's just loaded with processed crap, a bunch of white flour and a bunch of sugar. And so, you know, just looking at the big picture, the more we can shift away from that and focus on health foods, and that's going to make us all feel better. And so trying to I think finding the middle ground there, and I think that's the key thing, and working together and not having these big food wars, I think. But unfortunately, it's trying to do things that are supported by the data, and that's stuff that we should keep looking into, and I think we'll keep talking about it. And I'll take care. Bye bye.